In the following video series, we're going to look at how to multiply and divide rational expressions. Now, rational expressions are when you have a polynomial in both the numerator and the denominator. But before we get started on learning to multiply and divide, we first need to focus on how to simplify rational expressions. The way you simplify rational expressions is very similar to how you simplify fractions. If I were to say, let's have 36 over 144. And I said simplify this fraction. What you would do as students is look at, well, what number goes into both of these and divide the top by that number, divide the bottom by the number. But what you're actually doing is you're finding common factors that both the numerator and denominator have. And so what I would do is I would do prime factorization of 36. So I know 36 is 4 times 9. So 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9. And if I were to look at 144, then I'm going to have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and then times 3 times 3. And so I have just the prime factorization of them. To simplify, you cross out what they have in common in the top and the bottom. They have 1, 2, they have another 2, they have 1, 3, and they have another 3. Now, when you're canceling out, you're actually looking at doing division because 2 divided by 2 is 1. So if everything cancels out on the top, you're left with 1. And the bottom, you have a 2 times 2, which is 4. And so this is really what you do when you simplify a fraction is you find the common factors, you cancel them out, but canceling them out means you actually are dividing them out because if they're in common, you divide anything by itself, it's the number 1, which doesn't change if you multiply by it. So it's very similar when you're dealing with rational expressions and polynomials and factors. What you do is identify your common factors in the numerator and denominator. You divide these factors, or we like to refer to it as you cancel these factors. You cross out what they have in common on the top and the bottom. So if I take a look, I have 2x times x plus 1 over x plus 1 times x squared minus 4. First thing I would do is make sure everything is completely factored. And so I know my top is completely factored. The 2x and the x plus 1 can't go any further. However, when I see x squared minus 4, that tells me I am dealing with a difference of squares. And so that factors into x plus 2, x minus 2. Now that the top and bottom are completely factored, now I look for common ones that I can cancel out. So if I take a look, the top has an x plus 1 and the bottom has an x plus 1. So I can cross them out. And so my final answer is 2x over x plus 2, x minus 2. That is a simplified rational expression. So the bottom line is make sure you identify any common factors in the numerator and denominator first, and then when you cancel them out, you just cross them out. They have to be the exact same object to cross out.